So, the stream has started, and hello, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear testers, hi. So, we welcome you to our online webinar where we will discuss best practices of exploratory testing. So, thank you for joining us from different parts of our Earth. And today, two brilliant speakers, Bruna and Charlie, are with us. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Morning. Thank you
Thank
for
you
Hello.
for having
tuning
us.
in.
Great. So, we will talk about what is exploratory testing and about fundamentals, and Charlie will show the live demonstration of how to test a website. So, I would like to pass my word to Bruno, to you, and let's start.
Yeah, hello, everyone. My name is Bruna. Today, I'm going to talk about what is the exploratory testing, explain it to you a little bit. It is a technique of testing the software where the testers actively explores the website or the app to identify potential issues and to try to understand the functionality of the software. And it usually doesn't follow any scripts or test cases. It's just the testers exploring freely the website or the app like normal users would. And it doesn't replace any other technique of testing. It just complements them, like the functional testing, the regression testing, and the performance testing. How do we usually approach the exploratory testing? Well, usually testers explore the website or the app in their own way using creativity and intuition to find the bugs. They usually investigate parts of the software, try different combinations of inputs and actions to see how the software behaves, how the software answers their query and such. And the only limitation to these testings are the features that are given on the test instructions. Usually, the areas that the customer wants to be tested. So, like if the customer wants to test the checkout process, then you only explore that section and always read truly the test instructions, not to be out of scope or something. So, if this it is the checkout that is being tested, then only check this section. So always read it truly. Charlie?
Thank you, Bruno. So, yes, some fundamentals. What makes exploratory testing different from a script testing, which is kind of more, probably you already know about this. Script testing, there are some software to do this, and you can even do it yourself by just programming some Java, a little Java on your browser, in the browser. But script testing follows predefined test cases with expected outcomes. Test cases, yeah, well, we also have test case testing, yes, but there are different things, different approaches. Mainly when it's script testing, is you think the person who said this thing usually is a programmer, so he knows how the functionality works, but usually that overlooks the user approach, and that's where we come into seeing is that exploratory testing. The difference is we have different processes in parallel, um, whi- which is simultaneous test design, execution, and learning. We understand the product while testing it, and while testing it is where we can see how it was how functionally was implemented, what is supposed to happen after interacting with elements, and and that's it. That's the actual also why this is black box text testing, like black box, because we don't know what is under the hood. I don't know. We really don't know how it was, how the code works. We don't know that. So that's a really big difference. Script testing, you know the code. Exploratory testing, most of the time. Exploratory testing, you don't know anything about it. Key difference, well, freedom to adapt testing based on real time observation. So we are going on the website, we will see it in a bit, and we will try to see where interests us, what can we do with some elements presented on the design, and that's it. So script testing, just metaphor, is like following a recipe. While exploratory testing, as you know, probably you know, chef, those famous dishes are chef that who created them. So you are on in the kitchen, you have some ingredients, you don't have a recipe, and you try to create something out of them. So that's the big difference. That's a fundamental, because we need to understand that we don't know how things work and we don't have to. That's why we also say start your journey as in the IT industry, or start in the IT industry without knowledge, without experience, because you don't need it. And that's the beauty of testing with us and exploratory testing, manual exploratory testing. Next, please, Irina. So key mindset and approaches, well, user-centered perspective, always we have to test as if we were the end users, always. If it's, for instance, you cannot test the same, an e-commerce, the same as you are testing an educational platform where you have to take quizzes, for instance, or have a student tutor session. So it's not the same. And we have to think like an end user every time we face any environment, an application, anything. Curiosity is important, because we as we don't know how the code was written, we really don't know the implementations without testing it. We have to think of, oh, what if I click here? What if I input this and that? And that curiosity. But usually we start a test session, um, and then we just go for different paths, and we happily found bugs. That was exactly how I started, since I'm not from the IT industry. If you have read some about me, I'm sociologist, so imagine someone from, and also the I remember the CEO from Tesla, your CEO before, was a philosopher. So, and we ended up in this path, and we understood and we learned. Because we were curious all the time. System thinking, understanding how components interact. Of course, that's basic by clicking here and there in a functionality, trying to see what was your remember your income, and the outcome of any functionality. You will understand how system works, and then you kind of create this mindset of thinking as a system, which is what we test, a system. Heuristics, there are many problem solving shortcuts. uh, I just added some examples, but um, experience, and as many tests, the most tests you join, the better you will you will get these heuristics, and basically is how you can approach your testing at a specific time in a specific environment. Session based, yes, definitely we have you have to set, we have a testing setup, and that help us to drive our testing, and anytime we start testing an environment. And finally, which is very different from script testing, and is that we document bugs on the go. Like we are going testing, and as soon as we find bugs, we have to start documenting them and create a report, submitting them. This is also part of the approaches of manual exploratory testing or black box testing. Next, please, which is okay. There are many myths about exploratory testing. There are many memes also about it, but wanted to highlight these three. That is just random clicking around. That definitely is not what is um, manual exploratory testing. And if you are doing it, please just avoid that approach because that would be it's very frustrating. It's just time wasting and will prevent you from learning how the environment works, how a functionality was implemented, how what would happen if you follow through a flow, like finding an item, setting some specifications, then pushing it, moving it to the cart, and to the cart, pushing it to the checkout. You know, like an e-commerce flow. If you start clicking around, that will prevent you from finding this, putting you far from these flows that make and that remember we have to test as an end user as if we were end users, and end users have a purpose. When they go to a website, they have a purpose. When they open an app, they have a purpose. They want to go somewhere. They want to find something. They will purchase something. So that's why clicking is really a myth. We just don't click around. Um, Myth number two, it can replace automated testing, as Bruna said, is not. This is complements very well any other kind of testing. And AI testing, of course, we also complement those. So it's not like we are uh, some one kind of testing is better than the other. No, in the development process, software development process, we need any kind of testing so we can end it up at the end with a product that works and that works for specific uses, and that's important. Um, I just realized is repeated the myth number two, myth number three, but um, the number three was related to that do you have to be an engineer or a software developer to be a tester. Actually, one of the most comprehensive surveys on QA shows that more than 70% of the QA testers were not are not developers. They were never interested in developing or coding, and and that they learn from experience, like Bruno and I, or like many other testers on our platform, is from experience that how we learned about testing and manual exploratory testing. So let's just go for yes, let's crack on. I will share a website. I will try to test it and show you. Let's see how what we find. Let me share my screen, please. So I hope you are seeing this website, and if you were in the testing competition, you probably saw this website. We picked it from that. Uh, yes, I can see it's shown. So first things first, we have to understand the features, the standard features. If you go to our academy, you will and you just type features, you will find the article standard features. And that one, we states where are the standard features, which is homepage navigation, product detail pages, product listing pages. All that's important because it already provides us a structure of web testing in this case. But this approach for web testing, the mindset of testing a website, it can be also applied to other environments as far as we understand this system approach we mentioned before. So first things first, we have here um, a header. We also have this navigation. All this is related to navigation. And as soon as we move down here, we just left the navigation, we left this part and enter the home page. And the home page is the content between this navigation in top. We can see different sections. All of these are different sections. So we can understand, oh, okay, this is quite a big website. Have a lot to play around. They also have this access to a specific product, and we're still on the homepage. Check so much content, and then we reach the footer, and this footer is another part of the navigation. So we already saw sometimes if the newsletter is a separate feature, if it's not in the footer, we can see this, but we can even check with DevTools if this section is also part of the footer, so we can consider it part of the navigation. If it's not part of the footer, the newsletter is and the newsletter is not a test in a scope, then you should not test it. You should avoid it because it's a separate feature. So let's start with always one technique would be, okay, let's start, since this is very complex, like the search feature is a little complex and the navigation has so many elements. Probably a good thing to do is to test the homepage, and this one has a lot of elements. So for instance, they have popular categories. So if they are popular, most of the users of this website are going there. So let's go there and let's see, for instance, this live sound and lights. Let's see what we find. We start clicking around, see so many subcategories. This is a really um, huge website. There are some trending in live sound. Let's see why this is trending. They have this instrument here, a mixer, and in this mixer, okay. So we can see there's a breadcrumb navigation. There are many elements here. Let's see, we have these reviews. We click here where it's supposed to happen. Okay, it just collapses the page to show us here, right here, where the reviews are. Okay, I just want to get back. Let's see where else oh, they have this. And this feature is really cool to test because sometimes is just the JavaScript is sometimes is a little bugged. So I just click this around. Oh, okay. So it's not working anymore. So it should be working. Let's see. Let's see if this is intended, because okay, this is quite odd already, isn't it? So okay, let's try to see if it's supposed to work differently. If we find the feature, okay, let's see, this one has a feature. Okay, so we play it once. Oh, and continuous playing. So it is definitely something odd. Let's see. Okay, so as I'm trying to reset it by clicking on an order element in this image, for instance, and it keeps. So okay, let's get back and see if it was not a momentary or a temporary issue. So I'm getting back to the original mixer, and let's interact again with this 360 degrees functionality. Let's see how it is. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's do it again. Let's click the. Okay, this is definitely a bug, and it should not perform like this. Let's see if it's the 360. Okay, no, this is what is called an anchor. It's a link that push me down to a different section. But this one definitely is bug. So we can, this is also, what kind of bug is this? It's a functional bug. It's a low severity bug. First, because you could see that it's not a systematic error. And also, this is not preventing us from uh, seeing order images, product images, and definitely not preventing us from adding the item to the cart. If I click on add to cart, we added successfully. So this is a very minor, but it's functional issue. And okay, that's really cool. We already found one bug. Let's get back to the homepage. The homepage is really huge. So okay, found a bug. We documented and we submitted as a low functional bug. Trending gear. Okay, let's see what this is. The first one. You can see I'm not even finding it much. It's just clicking in the items I'm interested in as a possible end user. Let's see. Let's try it again. This hypothesis that is. Oh, it's still loading. That the issue is with these 360s happening on that with that element. Okay, it's still downloading. Yeah, it's a lot of information. Okay, this is spinning crazy, but you see it's continuing. So definitely the previous one was bug. What happened if I click on, let's see the reviews of this one. Okay, it's loading. There is kind of finished. Okay, nothing, let's see. Nothing out of the ordinary, apparently. Mhm. Okay, let's just get back to the home page. We're still trying to understand what these many elements, we are from home page, we are navigating to the product details page, and we can see that there is also a lot of happening on this product details page. I want to test the reviews because there are many things happening with reviews. For instance, you can see that sometimes the review says a number of one page, but when you go to the section or to the product detail page, the section has a different number. That's also that's a possible. Okay, let's see. So, trending gear, yeah, it was here. Let's see, Universal Audio. Uh, see the reviews. Audio poll. Okay, I think you can see this bar here, and if they have no, this is not visible. When the page collapses, is preventing us from seeing this, which is I don't really know why it is. Let's. Okay, so we also found a second bug here. This is a visual bug. Oh, this is the text. The section is blocking. So, but it happens in a very particular flow, and is as soon as I landed on this product detail page and I click on the reviews, the page collapses to show me the reviews, and is preventing users from reading this. So definitely a visual bug because this information is not accessible. Okay, I'm interested in the reviews. As a user, I want to see what is happening. Okay, everything looks positive. What if I filter the reviews? I want to check. So I review by four. Well, it has no many reviews, but okay, seems everything is okay with this one. Uh, let's check the reviews of order because I observed something like this. You can see that there are 5 stars, but there are also 3.5, 4.5. So I want us to check this because this sometimes is considered a bug. Let's collapse this. Let's see if we can reproduce the bug. Well, this one has no note, so it's not cropped here. But you can see this. This is what I wanted to show you. And we have this 1.5. If I filter the review, let's see 1 star. We are seeing 1.5. We might consider this a bug, but the reason is this is not really a bug. We are visually we are seeing some information, but programmatically, rounding is kind of part of software nature. Is how computers can manage allocate memory. So rounding numbers, rounding things up or down is usually up. That's why we are seeing this. Is normal. It's part of how computers work. So little random round up numbers. Those are really no bugs, and they are also part of how computers work, how browsers work. So we are seeing that 1.5 and 1. This is just 1 star. So this is because this is the rounding natural thing, if we can say natural for computers. So these little things are not a no bug. Just for you to consider, because I observed those visually, they are telling us something else that is not happening with numbers, and it's because numbers are treated differently in computers. Let's get back. Maybe we can test a little more. Uh, let's go to categories. Let's filter, and when we go to categories, these are guitars. Okay. Uh, let's see everything. When we go to from navigation to product detail, listing pages, category pages, we want to test 2 main features of functionality: filters and sorting. And these are quite important for an e-commerce because that's how users can find their items quickly and they don't leave. So okay, let's see. Whew. There are quite 5K products, guitars. Okay, let's see. We have most popular, less sold by, yeah, let's go with low to high. So we still have 5K products. It says that we have 120 pages let's see where I want to go to. This is also part of navigation. So whenever you find a linking issue here, you can consider as a low severity bug as per our rules. So this is also navigation. Let's go to the last page. I want to check. I sorted from low to high. I want to see what is the highest price. And the highest price is 3,599. So what we are expecting now is if we are testing this important functionality, sorting, what we expect is, well, we should expect if we just sorted the opposite, high to low, that these are the first items. Let's see. Good thing is loading quick. Uh, okay, well, this is definitely different. We still have 5K products. We didn't see these ones when we sorted and we navigated to the last page. This one, they don't even have price, and we find this. There are items with quite different prices. So two things. This is definitely a high functional bug. There's a problem in the back end. The database has some problems. When the browser requested to the server with this kind of sorting, definitely there is something odd with the backend data set. And not only because they were not found there, but because they also don't have products. The reason most likely would be that they are not in stock. That it is, yeah, a special price or thing. Yeah. That's usually the case, um, but the sorting algorithm should have shown us prices. So this is definitely a problem. But another thing that got me thinking was when we scrolled, we can see this empty area here. And, and this empty area here is not a visual bug. It's already indicating, the root cause is this problem with the data set, because this is agreed. And as far as there are more items, let's click on the second, there are 120 pages, 5K products. There are many items to fill up this area. As far as there are items to show, this white area should not be presented. So this is already telling us, okay, something odd is happening with this product listing page. So okay, we can just submit it as a high severity bug. Okay, let's see maybe some last finding. Let's test the search feature, one quite of important. So we found already 3 bugs and discussed some things just coming from the home page. So imagine can we find, what can be found if we just test the rest. So let's see, and since we are, oh, they do have software, because in music you have some different software, like, let's see. Oh, notation software. I'm very interested in this. This is not just testing. I'm really interested in music. I play the ukulele from time to time, so I'm really interested in these things. Okay, you also observe that there is something else. When we type something, we get a search suggestion list, and when we interact with this search, then we find a search suggestions, and then we click on this and navigate to a search results page. This can look like one only feature, but we are also, I just named them. There are 3 different features that they're just integrated. So let's see if we find something about this. We are seeing this product, David. So we should have a suggestion. Yeah, there it is. We have a suggestion here. Let's this dismissal, this clearing button is also working. Steinberg, right? There it is. It's also here. It works. It works. Okay, let's see this aromas. Well, yep. Let's do this one. Okay, this is odd. This is odd because we are just seeing that for aromas, this brand here is not working, but it's working for if I Steinberg AVS, for instance, the first one there. We have many options in many combinations. We just need to type the first. Let's see if aromas music, for instance. Maybe is that. No, it's definitely not. So this is another, oh, we already found another bug, and this is with the suggestion list. Um, Another thing to consider when testing this is that suggestion list is implemented separately from like a different, if you consider like a different chapter in a book, but linked to, it's supposed to, it's like a content um, content item for a book. So you have to think that this should be uh, um, linked, like the content and the table should link, and that's how where we are testing here. So in this case, for this, uh, the search for some reason is not on that table on the search suggestion list, but we can see it that is there, and for the rest worked. So we have proved that something is odd for this element. Uh, what else? Oh, something I really like to test is that you can see these dynamic elements um, like these ones, this clear button. So I'm like I always want to see, since it's dynamic, what is happening when there is kind of to try to find overlapping elements for visual box. So let's always we have to take long names. So let's take long uh, items names and see. Okay, this is not as long as I thought, but the idea is to find to test that idea that I just got by let's see, maybe this one, but just seeing the, oh, probably it's not, just seeing that it's dynamic, so probably it's it might have some issues, or let's see, we'll find some big, oh, maybe this one, Titan Wireless. Okay, it seems long enough, still not long enough. Please bear with me. I just, there's there are so many elements. Oof, almost. Okay. We should find more items. Kind of the same. Okay. And we already found so many bugs that this is amazing because first thing when I started testing, I was thinking, this looks quite okay. Nothing is odd, including, Facebook or I don't know, very well known, renowned brands that you, okay, this should be, it seems like it's a long name, not that long. Okay, but even though we also have this text here, so we can use it to, oh, there it is. So we can see that this is overlapping here. It shouldn't be there. if I click, I expect to remove it if it's not happening. So we upgrade this visual bug to a functional bug. Okay, it's happening. So it's just a visual bug. It's just odd, and that can be submitted as a visual bug. And that's basically what we do. Is we just go with an idea of what we uh, want to find on a website. If this is for musicians, so let's think, even if we don't play an instrument, we might like music, or we at some point we were interested, or we know someone who likes music very much. Will stop sharing. Um, we have, I don't know, your siblings, your family, they play instruments. So you have an idea, or you can think of an idea of what kind of user you will be while testing. In this case, e-commerce, but it works with the same for many other. The same approach can be applied to many other kind of environments. And that's how we do. That's how we do it. And I don't know. We have so many in just few minutes, many bugs, and they are all valid on our platform. So please take note of this. Thank you, Rina. Thank you, Bruna. I think we have the QA
Yeah,
coming up.
go.
Okay,
We
We
also
sure
have
found
few.
as many bugs.
Yeah,
that's true. So many. I was not expecting that many. I also saw some areas to explore, but that will take us at least an hour or two.
okay. Hope it was very useful to see for for all our testers that it is possible to find so many bugs in 10 or 20 minutes. Yeah,
20 minutes,
and
yeah.
as you
Fingers
said,
crossed.
they all are valid. And okay, let's proceed to the questions. So we collected the questions the tester placed in a form, and we also have few questions in the chat, and then I will show
Oh,
them.
cool.
So okay, let's start with this one from the form. So what aspect of testing pays more, guys? We decided to answer all questions we have. So who would like to answer?
What aspect of testing pays more? That's very interesting. I don't get the aspect. I will tell about the different tests we have, and the different tasks we have, because we have many. We are not just submitting bugs. We can reproduce them. We can execute user stories. We can do test case testing. We can do usability testing, accessibility testing. It depends, and I don't think there is an as if we see it like philosophically, and testing as itself pays a lot because it helps us create develop products that work for people. So I think that that's an aspect. But if in terms of money, I believe that depends on the test that would be stated there, and depends on the task you are working on at the specific time. But yeah, I believe there is no a straight answer. On our platform, every task has a different payout. We also have different test cycles. The complexity of a test is also linked to probably higher payout, most likely. So, but I think anything that is testing is worth it because it helps develop products. It helps understand products. It helps us to gain a lot of experience and knowledge that we will also that will pay off over time. So that's my answer. I don't know if I answer straightforwardly.
I also would like maybe to suggest to review different videos on YouTube. We have a very good series with our TLs and with our community manager Marcus about how to work smarter and earn more on the platform. So I guess this information could be also useful. It's about this question. Okay, let's go on. Next one. I found a bug, but I don't know how to write a title that will clearly describe the bug. What should you do in this case?
Yeah, that one, it's a really good one. We have articles about how to write a good report. We have examples on how to write it, but usually the title have to be clear, really clear about what the bug is about, where it happens, like the page where it happens, or the section of the page where it happens, and when it happens, like when clicking on a button on that page, it shows like an error page or something like that. uh, the title should always like draw attention to the title, like you clearly describe what the bug is about, but you have like to do a truly uh, good description of the bug on the actual result. So the title is like a short version of what the bug is about, but a clear version telling where it happened, when it happened, and what it happened. What happened? It always when you're writing a title, always remember it. What, where, and when. If you don't forget about it, it's gonna be clear.
Yes, I really like writing bug titles, bug report titles, because they are they are not as easy as we might think, and it's main in the beginning. In the beginning, I thought it was the complex part of the bug form, but actually, if we just use first terms that matter, we just don't just repeat terms like we selected the product details page as the feature we found a bug, and then we add this to the title. That just is redundancy, that is unnecessary, and it's um, taking up a lot of room from titles. Titles should be as long as needed, so we don't have to add those items. And if we just focus on the events. That because I think this tester is asking for what should I do, like tell me please, but what should I do? So I think I will do this. I would add the events, I would list them. That was a technique I started doing when I was testing, because it was also challenging for me. So I list the events, adding for let's take for instance this example, the last bug we found with the visual bar with the clear button overlapping. Okay, what is the event? The first event is the input is quite long. The second event, the clear button shows up on top, overlapping, and when clicking on the button, it removes uh, the query it removes user query removes. So, okay, I have all the three events, so I work on those to find out. I have to remove my actions, clicking here, moving there, scrolling there. When I those kind of user actions related descriptions are what is keeping you from a really bug report title, because actions are for the step to reproduce section. The title is for describe the problem. And when you describe a problem, you are describing user's actions, you are not describing the problem. So it's just to consider those two different scenarios. One is the actions, the other is the events. And when you focus on the events, that will help you quite a lot when doing
One of
this.
the things that really helped me, and it just stuck to my mind, was something I read on our articles that said be descriptive and not instructional.
Exactly.
So it's really that we have to have in our titles always. Like, don't describe it. Uh, like the steps. Don't use don't use it as a instruction to get to the bug, but use it as a
Exactly.
description of the bug, a short version of it.
Yes, that's definitely true. The problem with the visual bug with the overlapping is well, for long queries, the clearing button overlaps. That's kind of the thing. We don't have to say if when the user inputs some long term that doesn't make any sense, and that makes the the title unclear. And that's most likely the case that we are going to instructional titles when we have to focus on events. Yeah, agree, Bruna. Good point.
Well, I see one question related to title
Oh,
also in the chat. I will show this question. So, Tara asks, can you provide example of bug titles with bug you have found on in this session?
oh, yeah, we just did
That's a nice one.
with
Yeah.
the last one.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
okay, okay.
thank you,
So,
Irina.
sorry, I just was focused on answering questions. Then,
Thank you,
great.
Irina. Yeah,
So, Tara, be answered your question. Well, let's go on. Top bug hunting skills. What are they?
good
Charlie, how
point.
about patience?
But
Patience
yeah,
is a
patience.
really
Yeah,
good one.
experience, testing, curiosity. Um,
Curiosity. Yeah.
yes, do we have many content that could help you get some idea of what are these skills we need? And it's just we have bug explained on Facebook. You have seen all and YouTube, where we just showcase some bug with a screencast, and then we explain it, and we provide some insights on the bug or the actions or the functionality. I believe understanding the components of the environment we are testing is the main hunting is the main skill we need, understanding when you are transitioning from the navigation to the home page, that little part is enough to already start getting the hands on what testing manual explorer testing is about. um, there are many other readings. You can read techniques that we mentioned in some of the slides, but experience, as I mentioned, this survey is a global survey about QA testing. Most testers learn from experience, and that's definitely something we should always remember. The most, if you are starting with testing and in our platform, and you will see different environments, even if it's new, even if it might look scary, or you have never tested doing app testing, just go for it and try it out, and you will learn quite a lot just to give it a try.
Yeah, I think we have to be really observational. I think I don't know if that's the word, but we have to observe like other testers too. I used to do that a lot when I was a tester, like seeing more experienced
Mhm.
testers, uh, just like finding bugs, like Charlie did in the live demonstration. You like, I bet you're gonna the viewers are gonna search for the overlapping with the clear form now because we are always observing like what other testers do so we can like reproduce it on other environments and such. So I think we have to observe a lot too so we can develop our own skills, our own bug hunting skills too.
Yes, yes. I just remember we have the bug assessment spreadsheet. There are also bugs there. They are described. You can just just take one by one. When I start testing without any knowledge about these things, um, I do know some coding from before, but it didn't. It was never helpful. So not when I started testing because I needed to understand what is this manual testing? Where is the code? I wanted to see the code, but I couldn't. So uh, then I found out this bug assessment sheet and the spreadsheet, and then I found those bugs. Back then, I was also starting to be a community representative in Brazil, where you are in now, Bruna. And I was there, and I was thinking, how can I help people if I'm not starting learning? That doesn't make much sense. But I really wanted to share this opportunity of working with SIO and that you don't need experience whatsoever. So I found this bug spreadsheet and I thought, okay, I just need to learn this by heart. And that's what I did. I just went to this every day in the morning. I was studying it. And then when I just, after joining a test, I was going to finding the same bugs there and tried to compare. And that comparison made me understand systems, made me understand how a functionality is expected to work, those kind of things. And then or by repeating it and trying to create this learning process, I don't know how to call it. Um, I was always going to these places I already knew. And when I was going to common places with bugs, that I knew they were bugs for sure. I was certain, give me that was boosting up my confidence on testing. And then I was just finding the bugs, uh, mm, reporting bugs, documenting them, understanding the feature, how I can see this feature on this environment is different from the other, but I could understand the same that what is happening. I think that's now that I think about it, it's quite a skill. Like you can understand these things. So it helps for you who asked this question. Go for bug assessment sheet on. You just find it on our academy, and study those and try to find those on the test you are working on right now.
Thank you, Charlie. I can also share my little story. When I
Please.
just started, yeah, my first steps in IT, and I had a really first interview. HR asked me the same question. So, what is the main skill for a tester? And I remember that I answered that it is imagination. So, yeah,
Good
some
answer.
Yeah, it's a
funny
good one.
thing. Yeah. Okay. Next question. How to increase my invitations for paid cycles on Test.io?
Paid cycles, we paid all cycles. I don't understand that part. All customer cycles are
Except for
paid.
greenhorns.
Probably the
Yeah,
green cards. Yeah.
customers. Yeah, all cycles are paid, and it depends on your. Uh, I don't know if that's the invitations you're asking or just the paid cycles, but the more you advance on your levels on your profile at Test.io platform, the more invites you're gonna have. So you have to be like participate in the test cycles you accept. You have to improve your bug approval rate, do some user story executions, do some reproductions, and as soon as you start leveling up your profile, you're gonna receive more invitations. We have levels, we have that in our academy articles. You can check that. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if you have anything else, Charlie.
Probably devices. The most devices you have, the
Device,
more
right.
invitations you will get. But quite important is you just have to go join a test cycle and leave it fly with flying colors. Always participate, always provide some. If you cannot find bugs, at least reproduce bugs. If you they are user stories, execute user stories. You have to, the most you work on the platform, it will give you enough score to be to get invited or eligible to more test cycles. But first year we paid all cycles. If it's green corns test, they are have educational purpose, so they are not paid for. So that's different. But all our cycles are paid, and the most you test, and if you always provide value to the test, to the customer, to the team leader, you always answer team leader request thoroughly on time, or all those things, all those good deeds will lead you to more invitations, which is what this question is about.
Thank you for answering. Okay. Next, is it necessary for a tester to use checklist-based testing techniques? And if so, can we contribute to a platform universal checklists? Let's say a typical checklist for online shop.
Yeah, I think it was related to what we were doing before, gladly. And well, there's no like an universal checklist. Also, the checklist you can build it yourself. You can just go like we started. We this live session went. We just started with the from the homepage, and that's one of the things. Let's check all the sections on the homepage. That's one of the things you can do. But that I don't know if you will like to have a universal checklist, because test cycles they have different setups, and it depends on the features or in a scope, all the additional requirements. So it's better if you have this for yourself and you build it on the go, or also, or over time. That was you can also find this on our blog. There are some um, techniques that some testers who share their techniques on this call. You will also find tester spotlight. You will find what are these techniques, how they have a checklist. We do have a checklist, because you have to have a plan when you start testing. We are not just monkey clicking people. We just not click around. We have that's also what we discussed on the show with Marcus, the head of the community that Irina mentioned. Is You have to have a plan in order to get the most out of your testing time on our platform, and that you can do it yourself. Is if it's better It is better if you do it yourself based on the test setup and in your educational curve, because we all learn in different paces. We have different backgrounds, and that also affects positively manual exploratory testing or black box testing, because we don't know the under the hood what is happening. So the most experience we have, I cannot stress it enough, it would be better for us to, or for you as a tester. I'm still testing, but in this phase that we are addressing today, like is the beginning, or the fundamentals, basics of testing. If it is best always to just um, test as much as you can.
Thank you. So the next question is, does all the material provided in the Testeo company website enough for us to be a competitive tester? Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that yes.
It does,
Very short
absolutely.
answer, yeah.
The answer is absolutely yes. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a lot of educational materials on our
Mm.
website. We have a Greenhorn newsletter where we have examples of bugs We have good, bad examples of user stories, comments, and such. We have a lot written in our academy for you to be a competitive tester. And just speaking for myself, I have been in a year inside Test.io and it helps a lot. The academy is full of materials, and if you have any doubts, you can just search there or ask the community. We always are there to answer you. But yes, the academy is amazing.
Yeah, we also have social media for that, have many educational videos on YouTube, many tips like Google, not Google it, on Facebook. If you go there and you read the questions, what is we asking, not Googled, but it's actually to Google it. Those are basics for you to become even better tester. We also have one of the most successful events on this call, I believe,
Mm.
along with competition for newbies and the testing cup and all the content there is bug or not quiz, and there you will learn quite a lot. You have screencasts, you know how screencasts are made or created on our platform, assessment, explanations, considerations on this scenario. So you have plenty to play around. So definitely, you don't need anything else, and especially because when you are reading something from somewhere else, some website or YouTube, a YouTuber, someone else, it's already filtered out. It's filtered from this person. So whatever that person understood about our rules, for instance, or processes, is not the same if you read it yourself. So it's better to come just and go on directly from the source, and that would be the best for you to make your own understanding, and that would be much better, definitely.
Yeah, we can learn from scratch, definitely. You don't have to have any background or something because the information are all there and it's really helpful.
Yeah, let me summarize a bit. So we have academy with a lot of articles. We have social media channels with podcasts, webinars, workshops, tips, and so on. We have bi-weekly bug or not quiz on Discord. On Discord also there is an onboarding channel where you may find mentoring help. It is completely for free. Plus, we conduct competitions for newbies once per 3 months, I guess, and we help new testers to become more experienced, yeah, and to learn from our experienced testers. You all may always ask questions in Discord, in chats, and all our community members are ready to help and to answer these questions. So see a lot of source of information here. Okay, next is how to find bugs faster. And is there guide, list, or similar of test cases that could be used in any testing scenario if the project does not provide them? Good to act as a normal user, doing normal things without having to think on what to do next. So, almost the same question, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe to sum up something. Charlie, Bruno, would you like to add something?
Yes, definitely. The user approach. Go always with that. If you have no idea what to do, go with the user approach. An end user uh, flow will help you always. And that if you have no idea, and if after watching this webinar is still without any ideas, go with that one. That will always pay off for you, for any tester.
Thank you. Next one. What are the most common misconceptions about exploratory testing?
Or that was the beginning. So, but mostly this is a structured it's a structured testing while discovering the implementation of features or the architecture of an environment. This the is not just random clicking, and it's also not easy as more memes you can find on the internet. It is not easy. You have to really understand many things on the go and learn on the go. As you also saw us going on this e-commerce and trying to understand what is happening when, for instance, is wasn't it odd that when I click on the reviews, then the page just shrinked for some reason? That's quite odd. But that's how it was implemented. Usually, when you click on that, what is the expectation? The most common is to navigate to the bottom where the reviews are, for instance. But this one is a completely different implementation. And we cannot consider a bug because they are customers design their products how they whatever they want to do it. If they want to make it like this, they want to make a, I don't know, a side panel, whatever they want to do, is that this understanding is what makes difference, a big difference with exploratory testing. So it is not easy because if it were easy, well, we won't have such thing as QA testing or quality assurance testing if you want to Google it.
Yeah, agree. So, next question: how to collect logs? It depends, maybe. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yes. We let this because probably it's one of the questions we all have in the beginning. The first time I collected a log, it took me like so much time to understand what exactly I needed to do. But I found until I realized, oh, it might be on the academy, and I found an academy article about it. And depends on if it's a browser log, is it an app device log? It depends. And the best way to do it is if you for some reason you cannot get it from the academy, you always have many resources to on YouTube on how to collect the log you need, because that also depends on the test, on the environment you are testing. So how to collect depends, and how to learn from it, well, the academy is your place to go. But yes, depends.
I will send few links to a chat about how to collect logs on different devices. But
Thank
and
you.
we move to the next question. I often have difficulty finding functional bugs for exploratory testing in video games. Any suggestions? Gamers are here.
Yes, gamers. So, for video games, we don't have many of them lately. But video games, you try to be a normal user, a normal gamer, try to explore it and try to look around and just take paths that aren't usually like the most clear ones and such. But yeah, just explore the environment, I think. I don't know if there's anything else to do in video games for
True,
testing. And
true,
be creative. I think video games are about it. Just be creative and explore everything they have to do, all the actions the character must do, and stuff like that. And like Renato said sooner, just be creative and use your imagination.
true. It's true, and it also depends on the device used, because it's different. It's very different testing a video game on a console that on, I don't know, a mobile device. It's completely different. Or you can test it on your on your laptop, and then you using a joystick, for instance, that will provide different. There are many different functionality, but I believe the problem, if there is a problem, I just think it's just a process of understanding is what is the action, what are the actions available at the moment in the specific environment? Depends on those actions, what are the items I can interact with? And between those two, there is always a function, a code written somewhere that will provide some outcome. And I believe that that's most likely the case. That's how I test video games as well. So that's the only way we can find them. And better than video games to understand manual exploratory testing, I don't think we can find, because you just find them on the go. You just find the environment. You have never tested the environment, most likely. So you have to discover and go
Yeah,
with imagination. Yeah.
you just take a good look around. And me as a gamer, I always, even if I'm not testing, when I play, if you see a path that it has to go there, then go to the other side and test there. So
Good
it's
point.
gonna, you'll probably find something, some collectible or a bug. You never know.
Yes, yes. And when there are interaction between functionality, let's see in e-commerce, you have this wish list option. So from the cart to the wish list to the wish from the wish list to the cart, those are two separated functionality, like the search suggestion, search results page. Three different functionality working together. We retested what should happen between the two of them before. But with this wish list, for instance, we expect to push the item back and forth without any problem. Well, it's depending on what elements we have to play around is how we can find this box. I mean, sometimes a combo, we have the instruction, probably somehow we found that it's a combo happens with these three buttons, but then when we try it in a different scenario, it doesn't work. So there's definitely a functional bug, or it triggers this the same I don't know combo works for differently in different environments, but sometimes it just get mixed up and then that's a different thing. So I think that the kind of interactions that we start learning while understanding an environment is what makes functional bugs more clear before our eyes.
I think there's just one thing we have to emphasize, not only for video games, but for our whole workshop, is that you have to use it as a normal user, not to like be like Charlie told, be clicking all the buttons and like in fast speed or something, like turning around or something like that. You have to use it as a normal user, as an end user. Don't like force the bug to happen because that won't be considered.
And also regarding game testing, honestly, it's such a huge area of what we can tell
Yeah.
about, what we can learn about this. So maybe we even need another webinar, 2 hours webinar to cover something about game testing.
Well, I'll be happy to.
Me too. Okay, seems that that's all questions from our list, but we have a few
Oh,
in the chat. Let's check them.
cool, cool.
Well, Alif asks, when asking what if during testing, how to make sure it is a valid scenario and not some corner case.
I
By
think
the way, there is
that
an, oh, sorry, go.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, by the way, I know that there is an approach in exploratory testing to test corner cases. Yeah, just because more bugs can be found during such kind of testing of corner cases. Yeah, please go on, Bruna.
You can go, Charlie. I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry.
Oh, all right, all right. Yes, I get this part quite a lot. because yeah, edge cases, as probably you already know, only edge cases that are the impact is very high on users, and users are considered valid as low functional bugs and forwarded to customers. The rest are not considered because they are very unlikely. For instance, if we go to an e-commerce, let's continue with e-commerce because it's the easier environment to understand most of what we do. And we have a shirt, and this shirt, it says that there is available, I don't know, 10 pieces. Well, let's test adding one to the cart, and let's test adding 10 to the cart because it says you can only add up to 10 pieces items of this. The edge case would be adding 100 of this. Why? Who real end user will buy 100 t-shirts of the same item, the same? That doesn't make much sense, doesn't it? So, and then we also have this validation telling us, because more, I believe more e-commerce have they have this stock management feature. So if there are only 10, unless it's a bug, of course. But if there is only 10, just go. Those are the boundaries we can test from 1 to 10. That's it, and that's how we can. Most people won't get even 5 of these items. So, and this the what if in this case would be, what if we add the max items and to the cart, or try to check it out to check out this item. So that's how the what if should be taken when testing with manual exploratory testing. 100, it doesn't make much sense for end users. Customers on our platform want to find bugs that will affect their end users because they will lose some revenue. Um, and most we can test 100. Why not? We can test more than 255 characters when creating a password. But would end users do that? Most users even use the same password everywhere, which is not recommended, please. But this very end, this is the what if we this what if should be framed within the environment we are testing. So please stop. If you are using those 100, or I don't know, you just random entering characters in the search results, in the search feature, and the search results page ended up with an error. That doesn't make much sense. The end users have a purpose. Please always remember this. They go on a website to buy something. They open an app to do something. Doing the opposite, doing random things, I don't think more end users would do that. They just don't want 100 t-shirts, or I don't know, Q, I don't know, at pound, percentage, comma, find an item with those. That's not a query. That's not a end user query. So that's how the what if should be framed from our perspective, of course.
Thank you. Next questions from Tara. How the dev tools can help in exploratory testing or not? Interesting questions, honestly. From my perspective, it helps to understand better what happens during some requests, interaction, and so on. But maybe, guys, you have another opinion.
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
always ask Charlie about it. He's
Me.
really good with tattoos.
Okay, okay. Well, we have even a collection of the dev tools and the different parts we can use when testing. It does help understanding this in different browsers is quite important to first. dive deep into the specific scenarios. Sometimes what you think it is a visual bug is actually a functional bug, but if you cannot tell because what you're seeing is different from what is happening under the hood, and that part that's kind of transcending a little bit from um, black box testing, a little bit, getting a little more knowledge of what is happening, what is supposed to happen with different sorting options. For instance, there are websites that they have sorting options. Some sorting options are based. An option is the model, the items are, but when you read the items, they don't have the name anywhere, but the sorting exists. How you can find the name of the model of the items? Well, just need to open DevTools and go to see what is happening, the resources, what how the probably the elements. Sometimes there are links that they don't exist, and you click on an element and you report it as a bug, and then you get a rejection because it's intentional, it's not a bug, and you don't get it, but you are clicking. Why it's not happening? Well, there are many elements that the browsers by default treat them as link, and that's why they make like you can click on it. But if you check with DevTools how this item looks like on the DOM HTML DOM, when you open, you just right click, inspect, and always open the elements, the tree, the HTML tree document, and then you read it, and then you see, oh, no, this is not a link. It was not meant to link. So do you understand that it's not a bug because it was not designed to be like that. And what you are seeing as clickable is just a browser standard behavior. So it definitely helps. As soon as you are ready to go on that, just please go for just look for dev tools on our academy, and you will find an article specific for each tab on the dev tools with examples and everything. Definitely helps. You don't need it, but it helps quite a lot.
Thank you. And we have very interesting question, as I see. Um, thanks to you, thanks to you, our hosts. Yeah, you're welcome. And if there is a behavior that does not occur in one case but occurs in other products, can it be referred to as an intended behavior?
I think we found exactly this scenario when we were testing the 360 functionality. It is definitely not the case. I mean, that's definitely something odd. If it's the same, because it seems like it's exactly the same, and it's not working standardized, that's most likely not intended. Quite sure. Like for instance, this sorting option that we found that database was compromised. Probably just we just got lucky that we found it on this the first category, but probably the others are not working like that. So would that mean this is intentional? I don't think so, because this is if you think modern software, they have components, and these components are modular. And when you think of a module, this will be like kind of built here like this and used in different sections, in different parts of the website. So it should behave the same no matter where it is placed. But if it's compromising on one place, that means it is definitely a bug. Something is interfering with the functionality. And more importantly, this kind of behaviors with important features can escalate, and that will kind of break the entire system sometimes. So if this is the case, this is definitely a bug. What are your thoughts, Bruno? What do you think?
Yeah, we have to test a lot of these products to see if it appears in all of the intended pages. But if something shows in one of them, it should show in other. I think it's just a matter of uh, experience to know if it's intended behavior or not. That's why we, through these webinars, we always give a lot of examples for you to understand how some of the functionalities work. So it's always like uh, just try to ask us or just try to learn with the academy to see if that's intended or not, and just think of it of as a end user. It will help you to know if it's intended or not.
Thank you. Next question. To show web page responsive error, visual bug can be recorded DevTool page. Is it allowed?
Responsive error, we can, I mean, first, I don't know, because it's recording and visual bugs are documented with the screenshots. We don't need, as far as the visual bug is static. And I believe this is what will happen with a um, responsiveness problem. So I don't think a recording will work. I mean, we won't add any value to the report. So if I understood, I probably am misunderstanding the question properly. But if it's not unnecessary to do, like you just have a screenshot and you can see clearly that there's a responsive issue, just highlight it and just upload it to attach it to the report. There is not unnecessary attachments are, are not needed. Well, unnecessary. That would be my take. I probably I misunderstood. I'm so sorry if I did.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Uh, we can provide clarification if needed and if we receive uh, some more sentences about these
Yeah.
questions and situation.
Probably I would like to add, if the problem is only seen on the dev tools, but not is not affecting anything on for users, then it's not a bug.
Mhm.
Is definitely not. Please don't submit that. If that's the problem, because probably that's what is happening. If you find so many errors on the console, but it's not visible, it's not preventing user from anything. So that's just not a bug. And that probably that would be the case. This tester is referring to.
Thank you. Next question. Maybe not a question, but a situation. Isn't there dedicated work for all testers? Whenever I try to have a task, as soon as I get an email, it shows an error at first, and then it shows it is occupied by all testers. Well, I'm not sure about this first error, honestly. I can say that our invitation system works for all testers, of course, and it can depend, the requirements for test cycles can depend. Of course, for example, for some customers, they need testers from specific location or from specific knowledge, with specific devices and so on. But for common testers, there is no any restriction to all active testers. They all receive this invitation. And of course, there is a competition between testers, and it can be a situation when all places are already occupied. But I'm not sure about this first error at first. What's
Hmm.
happened? maybe we should report this behavior. Please contact us, maybe in
Mm.
Discord, and show and upload the video of this error. So maybe it is a bug on the platform, and
Yeah.
we will send it to our developers. Yeah. Uh,
Mm.
just because
Yeah.
it's very difficult to answer this question without seeing what's happening during your first click. Yeah, what is
Mm.
the error? What kind of error you face?
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm. Okay. Also, you may maybe contact support. They can help also with such errors. And next. I have given a survey on the Xbrowse opportunity, but it asks me every time I open an application to give a survey. When will it
Oh,
start? Uh, Charlie, do you know something about it?
this yeah, I believe a special projects, and they will start as soon as the customer decides to do it. But it's important to always answer this service, as if you meet the requirements, you will be contacted. Definitely, I think these are the special opportunities on the test dashboard. Um, I believe is referring to this. So we don't know because the starting date, but because that depends on customers, but they will be conducted. And and you please check your. I do know you have to open our invitations to see which one relates to the survey you are referring to, because we send many emails, many tests. So probably it will be among those and you just missed it. But it starts whenever the customer decides to do it.
And I would like also to give little advice here. Maybe this YouTube session is not the best place to answer such questions. You may join our Discord, and we have a lot of conversations there. You may ask testers, you may ask our representatives who post these opportunities, and they will be ready to answer all these questions. So they know more information maybe about it than us now. Yeah, so please just join our Discord server. Okay, and we have more question. It is an addition to one of previous about DevTools, I guess. Yeah.
Hmm.
In continue of previous question, on change of screen size, responsive error occurs. Page layouts result in error. Hence, screencast I hope required to show precisely. Can we use DevTools recording? And addition, because screencast may show elements on the recording, is it allowed?
This is great. Thank you for elaborating on this scenario, because first of all, changing the screen of the browser is making what is called force box. We always need to have the 100% full screen browser page. So changing it would make it it is called on our platform as a force bug, and they are rejected straightforwardly, because that's no a normal behavior. It could be useful or not, but customers are not looking for these kind of changes. That's why they provide. That's why if we need differences between responsive problems, that's how the coverage, these tests are coverage, with means this means that are requested different devices, and because we test on real devices, so if we need a smaller screen, that's why the test is has set up for um, iPads or for tablets, different phones, cell phones. So for those smaller screens, there's a specific approach, and we always test on real devices for this reason. So if you change your screen, please avoid that practice, because we always go with full screen. um, testing, depending on the device, of course. So that's why it won't it won't do on our platform. That's how we that's how we test customers set up um, test. So to understand how the responsive website responsive is working on different real screen sizes or screen resolutions.
Thank you, Charlie. And seems that that's all. We don't have more questions, and we are very out of time, honestly. So I guess that we now came to the close of our webinar. Um, I would like to extend a huge thank you for all participants for your activity in the chat, for your engagement. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bruna, Charlie, for answering all these questions, even maybe not related to a topic, but we tried to answer all of them. And I guess that now our testers, they're better equipped with knowledge about exploratory testing and also about test platform. So please stay tuned for upcoming webinars, for new events. Do not hesitate to give us feedback or reach us in Discord or even here on YouTube in our social media. Join our social media, by the way. And of course, I wish you success in your testing journey. So have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
So bye.